For all my people, uh, this is the second one we're doing of the Turfn podcast right now. This is my first time doing it. We doing using Instagram doing a screen recording. We're gonna put it up to Riverside. But that's all the followers that we got. We've been doing it for over a year. Once again, go to YouTube, subscribe to Turfn underscore 101 on Instagram. It's the same handle, Turfn 101. Y'all know that already. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, all that. Right now we got a special guest. I'm not even gonna say anything. Shout out to Nettie though. He might pop in here in a minute. Y'all know my co-host Nettie. Shout out to the Queen. But we got a special guest from the culture. NY. Cool. You guys know I'm about to put the interview out. Actually, today I'm gonna start putting the interview out with him and Storyboard P. And this man right here was spoken of highly. You know what I'm saying in that segment. So I couldn't wait to get you on, bro. So for starters, just introduce yourself. What's your name to the people, where you come from, just a little bit of your history like that.
Okay. For starters, my name is not Quan, but I go by Icky. So Icky's my name. I'm one of the guys that started this buckup shit. Took it to the heights it is now.
Right.
Shout out to all the dancers that's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, but that's me.
So Icky, you guys, we got Icky, one of the OGs here. Like I said, man, I spoke very highly of you and stuff. You know, the connection was there. You know, I'm
Yeah.
kind of honored because from the person side, we kind of got similar stories to where, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm more so like second generation. I got some OGs that are a few years older than me that's like first gen, but they mostly like, this is when it was street dancing. It was literally the turf is like, where you from? Block. You know what I mean? What block you from? And it wasn't like regular motherfuckers doing it. So it's like, there's a lot of people that go underrepresented. You know what I mean? And sometimes those stories and all that stuff can get mixed without being passed down properly because, you know, some things you have to have firsthand experience by knowing. So that's why I think it's honor and it's great to start hearing from y'all because it's a lot of similarities and mirror what's going on in our culture. But
Definitely.
so first, for and foremost, I start everybody off with this question: when was the first time you remember dancing in general? Like, give us some. What age were you? Was that an event? Did you like? Were you watching? Were you copying somebody from TV? Tell me your story.
Well, I got a Caribbean background. So because I have a Caribbean background, that's like part of our culture.
Right.
Dancing and soca and all that. Because my
Okay.
family from St. Lucia and Jamaica, so it's like we got that's
Okay.
like we grew up dancing.
Right.
Dancing has been forever. My
Right.
father's been dancing. Dancing is part of the culture.
What's in your culture for sure, for surely. So, what did you grow up out there, or were you like?
I grew up in America. I grew up in Brooklyn to be exact. Definitely. Bed-Stuy to be definitely be exact. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised, just as my dad. My dad. My mom's from the United States, so dad is from the Caribbean.
Okay, yeah, I feel that, bro. I got my pops is from Honduras. My mom's from Frisco, from the state. So we got that kumi, and shit like that. So I feel that dance energy. Sometimes when you're foreign, it's in us because it can't be on you. You feel me? It's in you because it can't be on.
All it needs is the wire just to come out, and it's gonna ignite definitely.
So you and okay, so you just dancing is your thing, right? When did you start? Were you dancing all the way growing up publicly, or was it something you did in the family and then, like?
No, that's something I did in my house. I didn't start dancing until my later years.
Your later years?
My early teens.
Yeah.
That's when I started wanting to actually, put myself out there,
Right.
present myself in that matter.
So what was the first style that you encountered that was what we consider now street dance style? That wasn't just the traditional dances,
Well, in the beginning, it was just basically like, bossa wine, just move your waist, just the regular body work as far as dancing. It wasn't really like no pattern or nothing in the dancing at the moment. I started dancing 7, 8, that's young age. Now when we get older, in my early teenage years, 13, 14, I'm dancing, I'm moving around, I'm doing a little more things. It's not till I get to a certain age and once you start dealing with certain individuals and meeting individuals, you know how to dance, but you put the shit together when you're dealing with certain individuals.
Got you.
And this is where it comes in when this is how I meet my boy Aku. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
My brother.
was your style, was it dance hall based at this time? Can I just say that for lack of better term? Because we were gonna get to the terminology. So at this time, would it be dance hall based?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Dance
yeah.
all base. These early 90s dance.
See, I was gonna ask you the timeline too. So you hit
Right.
teens, right? Okay,
Right.
this is fire. This is going. So you hit those teens. This is very important for people though, bro. Give me a timeline right here. When was this? You talking about early 90s? Give me a year if you remember, if you can recall. Let's say you hit 13 or
I'm
14.
just gonna say, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna say, me personally, me started learning how to actual concept of dancing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me personally, my actual start concept, I would say about like 14, 15. That was my actual learning
Right.
concept of me learning how to actually dance the Caribbean style of dancing. I've done seen it through my culture, my
Right.
father, uncles, Jamaican tapes,
Right.
just
That's
West
crazy.
Indian tapes, period. So that was the automatic. Now, further step as the further years as my years going on, is not until I start meeting people. That's when I start to, building the actual dancing rapport of how I got to put my style together.
Right.
I learned.
Right.
I'm saying, yeah,
Yeah. Because it takes some maturity. I get what you're saying. It takes maturity to start being able to put things together to where it could be aesthetically pleasing visually for everybody to present. Before
yes,
that,
sir.
it's just kind of like a combination of shit. That's where Turfn literally came from for us. Is different Turfs
Right,
have different
right,
dances, and the blend that people see together now is not really what it was because each Turf,
right.
a lot of Turfs, hey, you from 98, you do this dance. You from this
Mm-hmm.
part of the West, you do this dance, and then the blend of people seeing them and being able to put them together. That's when it started becoming a kind of like a style when it was literal individual separate dances. So, but when did so when you met Aku, like you said high school moves, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, high school. So both
High
you
school.
guys, what was it? Both of y'all were on like the same type of wavelength of style. Like describe the style that y'all were doing right
I
there.
mean, I mean, I would say, because we came from the same background.
Hmm.
Definitely, we had the Caribbean background. Definitely, definitely on the shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you cursing here, but
Yeah, yeah, bro.
definitely on this shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, learning with him as far as me meeting him,
Hmm.
he was on point. You know what I'm saying? So it was like now I'm dealing with somebody that showing me something that's actually like to a T. You dig what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
his style is his style is a style like I'm almost gonna say like almost kind of like a perfect style
So he was
because
like
his beat
advanced.
is intact.
He was
Yes,
advanced.
he is
Like he was
definitely
advanced
very
with his
advanced.
moves. Yeah. Okay.
He was more advanced. It was like I said, it was more on point. Everything
Yeah.
I'm talking about, the points was so and to learn and to be somebody that understands that when you dealing with a person that is
Mm.
on point with they stuff like that, like, man, listen, this is where I know that this is where everything becomes
Right.
my teaching and my learning to me becoming better in my dancing steps.
Did you get some of your early influences were besides like like Aku, let's say other styles, what was some of your earliest like influence? Were you influenced by like the pop in from the Soul Train also?
Yeah, I grew up off the Soul Train line. You
Hmm.
already know if you watch Saturday,
Yeah.
Soul Train. I grew up off the Soul Train line. One of my uncles used to do the beatboxing back in the day. So, we had that kind of line of, like I said, dancing culture in my family.
Right. Right.
So growing up, I used to see that, you know what I'm saying? The pop locking, the style of
Right.
dancing, period. That's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a born and raised Brooklyn baby. So, if you know the community, that was like one of the top styles, pop locking and all that shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Putting things together with it as far as, it being a pop lock, it was, different styles that came with it. You know what I'm saying? So the glide and all that, you know what I'm saying? Then you had Michael Jackson. Then as the time go past, now you got Chris Brown. You got all, you know what I'm saying? So Usher, that's the, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, dancing was part of me because that's just something I wanted to do. Just seeing through the shit, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was singing or a dancer that was a singer or a dancer that was a rapper or a dancer that was from the Caribbean.
So how did you at this time when y'all dancing, y'all doing your thing? Did it did it have a name yet, or was it just like dance? It was like advanced in a dance hall.
We was dancing. There was other dances out. Like the Buckup was out.
Oh, so Brecca was out.
Buckup was out. Buckup was out
Mhm.
because you know, it was already out. But as far as like the Buckup style of dancing,
Right, right,
it wasn't organized.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got the style of you got the style of dancing right now. Like as far as like what everybody doing. Could you say that these guys is doing a Buckup?
That's a good point.
Know what I'm saying? They're not doing the Brooklyn. They're doing the style or whatever they it's not saying that is not that's not where it came from or that's not
Right,
what it
right,
and certain things that they doing is not part of it,
right,
but they already done mastered their whole shit. That's like same sort of our situation. You know, we was invented a style. We brought the style to the community, and because we brought the style to the community, and they took it and they just ran with it. They doing what they doing.
right, right.
Their style, however they doing it, how they doing it. That's not weird. It came from some place though. You
And
see what I'm saying? It came from a place, you know?
important, I'm on like on history and respecting the train lines of things come from because it's a respect to creativity of a
Mhm.
like and that's important because creativity responds more creative, and it's like a lot of stories are important. It's all about, inspiration. Because one thing I could do is like I could see like, okay, you got these two styles, two basically styles going that how would you describe the difference and the similarities between like where y'all was moving when y'all were advancing and then what everybody else was doing at the time?
They was dancing. They wasn't advanced yet. I should say they wasn't advanced. Like I said, my teaching came from somebody who was advanced
Right.
at a time where dancing was at its minimum. You dig what I'm saying? At its minimum. It was a few, but at his minimum, I'm talking about his bare minimum. People that was dancing and doing what he was doing and becoming the things that, you know what I'm saying? The things that was being done. And so my learning came from that. So it's like that's now my mode in my head. It's like I have to be more advanced. So I have to do things more, you know what I'm saying? I have to come with a different approach. And that's the approach we came with, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I was out and I was moving around and I was doing my dancing thing, this is my approach how I came to letting everybody know. That's just who I am. I'm a level where I'm a level one. This is where the level I'm at now. And if this is what you act like you coming towards and you playing with me, then we could get however you want. Because I was like one of the battles. I like the battle. I like the, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't out in the open like that. So if you knew who I was, if you dealt with who I dealt with, shout out to all the dancers. Definitely. Like I said, shout out to all the dancers. To all of them. Everybody. They got a little situation. There's certain situations happening, but they also have to understand things are at its point because of certain things and certain individuals. Certain individuals is the reason why we here today. So when you don't give the respect and you have that knowledge of not doing it, then this is where it comes in.
How does your neighborhood, how does your community influence your style? Like, are you the type of person that sees things in the street, you try to emulate them? Like us, like we dance for the auntie. It's like you watch a knock, she walking around like this, and like you can emulate that, put it into a dance. Like, how is your creativity at this point? We still talking like early when you're in your teens and you.
Right. That was pretty much my style. Seeing things.
Mhm.
I watched a lot of movies, like more scary movies, horror movies. So I was my approach came from like more of like a zombie, a more crafty, like like I'm more dead, type of
Right.
style. And then with the flexible and the hardness and the facial expressions You know, when the guys now they put the facial expressions. Well, you know, buckup he was with the facial expressions. You know, watching him, yeah, getting the facial expression. So yeah, you having those facial expressions. You knew certain things to do to add on to make you great. That's my point. See what I'm saying? I knew certain things that if I put together, it makes me great. You know what I'm saying? I see it, boom. I know I put my own twist to it. It makes me great. It's who I am. It comes because now I'm being creative. I'm being creative. I'm putting my style and I'm making my style and learning it and putting it into something. And now I'm creating this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how
Was at your point, was flexibility in there yet as far as were the breaks in there yet, or is it still like basically dance hall with that advanced popping and other things that y'all added in? Or was the flexibility there? Was there always people that was doing breaks back then?
well, we know breaking is if that's what we talking about.
We had a bone break. We call it bone break.
That's 70s. That's 70s shit, you know. That's before our time. If you know that, that's before our time. Like I said, most of the things that's happening right now is involving dancing is way before our time. It's just that we took what we took from them in the past and we created to our own style now. You know what I'm saying? Bone breaking and all that shit was back in the day. Yeah, that's 70s.
Yeah.
It's just that there's levels of years that we done that accumulated the knowledge to know that this is what we're doing, involving the past and bringing it to our own creativity of style of dancing.
So you're advancing things, but also what I like is hearing is you guys know how to pay homage to things that you put in. It's like
Right.
not like throwing in tightening and saying this is a whole new style. You call it something else. You know, like I think sometimes it tends to happen. Sometimes cultures, street dance cultures, we drown out where we get things from because we so much trying to put on our style and put on the style. And it's like you got to pay homage to all aspects. Cause you're the first person I heard that said, "Man, nah, man, they came for the '70s." Like, like
That's what I'm saying. That came pop locking and all that shit came from the 70s. You know that. We don't even need to.
yeah,
You a dancer and you know pop locking, the style that was pop locking. That was the one of the first styles of dancing, period. Boop, 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 boop. You already know that. We already know. Dancing, going to the floor, coming up. Now, like I said, now when we get to the ages of the time now we dancing, in our years of growing up and dancing, now when I come to my style of dancing or my way of how I'm dancing and how I'm doing my thing of dancing, I'm from my teaching. My teaching is who I'm dealing with, who I'm around on the time, who I'm on regular. You know what I'm saying? This is who I'm around. This is who I'm dealing with. This is who I'm locking in with. Because I'm at this point, like I said, at this point, the T is dancing is at its high point right now. It's not as hot as bare minimum dancers
right,
coming out. So when you dealing with somebody who's dancing at a high value of one class dancing, you gotta. This is where I'm at.
right. So was there
Down.
who else was like influence? Who else was around y'all at that time, or was y'all just like a two-man show?
Well, when I met him,
Mm-hmm.
when I met, I'm not gonna say it like him. When I met early '90s, I'm dealing with his sister as far as that's my homegirl, good friend of mine. Shout out to her. I'm coming over there, rocking in, saying what's up, seeing the family. And again, he's been around. He's Flatbush. He's all around.
Right.
It's the people that he dealt with. You know what I'm saying? I don't call no names. I don't want. But he's dealt with other dudes that he's danced with, or whatever the case might be. But when I'm dealing with him, it's just me to him.
Y'all too.
You know what I mean? When I came around, he's older than me. So when I came around, because I'm his sister age, so and he's older than us by like four, maybe 5. He's older than me like 4 or 5 years. Um, I'm dealing with his family, and I'm coming around. He's at his top. He had faster than me. He's on his game. He's on his A game. He's on his A game. So it's like now I'm locked in because you know what I mean. I know exactly what I'm doing. But look what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? Look what he's doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not saying I wasn't know. I know exactly what I'm doing. But look what he.
So you said you was into battling. how did you start the battle? Was it on some street shit? Was it on some like bullshit?
You know, once I got my shit together, it's over with now. I'm like I said, it's everybody's up for grabs, and they knew that. A lot of people knew that. They knew that. Guys knew that.
Was it like on
So yeah.
some shit like you pulling up, or is it just on site? Man, I know this person dance. We finna get in.
Well, parties. Go hang out at a lot of parties and shit. So my wife got the kids over, so they all in there hanging out. Kids got grandkids over. So yeah, but when I pull up to parties, little events or whatever the case might be, parties, you got you got now the dancing is at its high now. You got dancers now. You got Darrell and his crew. I don't know if you ever spoke to him. Darrell is one of the dancers. Shout out to him. You got the Suspense crew. I think you got Bingy and them. They out there. Shout out to them. And that's pretty much really, got a couple others, but but we came up when we pulled up. It was over.
Was you part of a group at this time, or was it just sometimes you just got a click of partners we all know how to fuck with. That's how kind of like I was. I had 4 niggas and we all know how to fuck with it. It wasn't a group, but we all just kicked it together and we just all knew how to dance.
Right. I pulled up, like I said, I pulled up to parties, dudes that was there that figured that they felt that they was doing something, or that they did what they did, and I had to show them who was number one. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I carried it. I could still do what I need to do at any point in time. I just choose not to. You know, 'Cause there's a lot of talk on the dance game, and a lot of people saying that. So I don't know. Like I said, the OGs is OGs. I'm not taking nothing from nobody. I'm not taking nothing from the youngins. I'm not taking from nobody. Nothing. I respect everybody with the point. Just certain people just need to be recognized at the moment of time. Because at this moment in time now, if you saying what you're saying and you doing what you're doing and you a level dancer, you've been dancing all this time. It shouldn't be people that haven't danced in all these years coming and dancing at a high level than somebody that been dancing past 10, 12 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
I could come out any point of time and yeah, I see one or two individuals that's out there dancing, but I'm at a high value of dancing right now. So if I choose to, I'm coming out at my best. Do you see my man? You see what he's doing right now? Things that he's doing? He's putting on a show. He's letting everybody know, like, he is who he is. He is who he is. It can't take nothing from none of that.
I mean,
Can't take
bro,
nothing
say you can tell that's from original shit. Like, yeah, you,
original. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is like the the version of him that is like little light, because I know it could come out of him where he could get and he could go crazy. He just, through injuries or whatever the case might be.
say he's
It's like, you know what I'm saying? But I know the value of the person I'm dealing with because
right.
I've dealt with him since I was yay high.
So I know you can't, bro. So I know you still got it in you. I could just look tell by your body language that I know, no, you still got it, bro. It's any point in time where you gonna come out and be like, bro, let me just make a little video real quick, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We was actually discussing that earlier today. Uh, so I think he like kind of like he kind of put me like to like he puts me to these tests almost like, you know what I'm saying, like try to get me, so it's like right now it's like a homework he's giving me
Right.
to, and I think this is what's gonna bring it out of me. But again, I'm at this point right now, like even if I'm dealing with somebody that's dancing, you're gonna learn, or I'm gonna tell you this whole style of dancing through a point of a mental aspect. I'm not gonna show you the physical part yet because once it's like now you're dealing with these type of dances right now that even if I show you my style of dancing, you're gonna still put your twist on it. So I'm gonna give you the mental part of the whole situation, and you take it and you run with it however you want to do it physically on your level of dancing. Because you know what I'm saying? That's just really like how you're gonna have to really pass down the way of dancing right now. It's gonna have to come to a mental stage of point where I'm gonna mentally tell you this is how you gotta be. These pauses, these these points and these angles that you need to be, these levels of of stopping and ticking and pausing. If you say these are the things that you know how to do, then I'm gonna mentally tell you that. And once you figure that out and you get it in your what's the name, you're gonna take whatever style you want to take with it and say you ran with it and you create. I don't care. I really don't.
You say your influence, let's say the generations behind you and in your community, like from you just going and dancing and doing your thing. Let's say from teenagers till you become an adult. How did you start seeing the formation of that dance style in Brooklyn?
Yeah, well, I saw after I seen it through Aku. I seen it through Aku, and that's how I learned it. And once I learned it, because we studied in the dark. You know what I'm saying? We didn't study in public. You know what I'm saying? We studied our style. We studied together. We studied in the dark. You know what I'm saying? So when I came out, that's the reason why I came out the way I came out.
What is your creative process? Like you sitting there, y'all two sitting there, you in the lab, you creating, you moving. What is your how do y'all do it? How do y'all build?
That's how we built. We built it for like different rhythms. You might give me a rhythm, or we might go off a rhythm, listen to one or two rhythms, then we just, freestyle. Once you freestyle and you figure out how you're gonna go for this, then that's where everything come into play. That's when you get the creativity working. Now it becomes like I said, we did a lot of homework with it. You know what I mean? He'll shoot me a rhythm. I need you to do this, like this, like this, like that. Point certain things out. Once he points certain things out and I learn certain things, I go from there, take my way, boom, yo, look, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? When I come back, we get back in the lab, I show them, yo, look, this is what it is. Everything came out. Now it all comes like this. You know?
How do you see how do you because I you guys you got a lot of influence. It's just you just see like in real time while it was happening. How did you take it? Did you know that dancing and feel like, man, this shit is gonna blow up by the influence that you had while you were, or is it something that you waited till you got older and you didn't really realize till you were older the influence that y'all actually had?
Right. I didn't really realize it until that. I mean, back then, being around and, like I said, coming on the scene and, you know, the crowd was getting hyped. And of course, you had that, that crowd, you had the attention, you liked it that. But now, like I said, got bigger. That's why I said all the dancers that's doing what they're doing, shout out to them. They caught our styles and they out there, they showing, they doing what they doing. Shout out to all the dancers. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know it was gonna go up like this. Who knew? Who knew that?
But you think like media has like an effect like, the way that dance the style of presenting everything and connecting everything. Do you think social media and that aspect of being able to get to fame makes people care less about where things come from?
Social media. Um, social media play a lot, man. I don't know. It has its goods and its bad. I'm gonna say. So, I can't say social media. Now social media is so advanced that, by you saying, like, even right now, you broadcasting, you in Cali right now. I didn't have this advantage to talk to somebody through the phone over Cali, and our streams to be live right now in Cali. I'm out there in Cali and I'm out here in New York. Same vice versa. So yeah, social media got its goods and its bad. A lot of good things with it.
Yeah, I think. Do you think there's like a I would say there's like a separation from people really digging into street styles and digging into their styles and learning history over gaining popularity.
Right. So you saying
You think there's a
mm,
disconnect there? And a lot of styles it happens in our too, to where it's almost like a lot of the younger generation you have, they're more concerned about getting themselves out there and everything instead of really kind of keeping the stories and keeping things intact. So there's a lot of styles that I see that put on really quickly, and it's usually because story's set coming from like media side of things. People want to hear story and history, and when there seems to be a disconnect in history, seem to be the styles that have often struggled. But do you think there's a struggle in like? Are people more concerned about just being popular and being like, "Yo, this is me, this is my style, I need to get it," or do you think there's a lack of concern for the history and the integrity of the whole child.
I think that's what I think exactly what it is. I think it's a lack of concern about the history because we still have to understand the history, even though we still want to create styles and with dances, whatever the case might be. However, but you still have to look at the history. So that's the confusion and how things going, because they're not learning, they're not respecting history. So when you respect the history, you could go on and you could say, yo, look, this is where certain things came from, and your style came from certain things. It's not that's why I said mentally you give somebody now, when you give somebody the concept of dancing, it got to come from a mental aspect. The reason why it's coming from a mental aspect because regardless of how I'm showing you, you're gonna put your own way of dancing anyway. So just let me give you the mental form of it, and then you create how you create anyway. But you got it mentally from me. This is how you gotta deliver the style of dancing now. It gotta come from a concept of mental. Because I could show you, and you can still put your whatever you want to.
Still going, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Go create your own style. So let me give it to you mentally and see if you could do it that way.
So it's almost like because I feel like with our style, it seems like sometimes missing the roots of the dance education is the reason why it don't come out the same. Like if I were to show you some old school turf dance from real shit, street shit,
Right.
you're gonna look at some of the newer shit, you're gonna be like, damn, it's almost a dressed down version and
Hmm.
version. So and a lot of that has to do with disconnect from history, from one learn lack of teachers, lack of communication and all that. So with that being said, when you were dancing, did you ever think about bringing it to the mainstream or was you just for the community with it? Like, yo, I'm gonna have my influence on these youngsters here and there. I'm still doing my regular life over here. And how
Right.
did you see it somewhere? Like you could take it somewhere mainstream, or did you just
Well, in the beginning at first, yes, I did look at it like that. But then, like I said, getting caught up, certain things, going to school, dealing with certain situations, then I got arrested.
right?
I did time, 11 years federal time. So it's like, it kind of throws you off. You know what I'm saying? Kind of that instant kind of throw you off. That's why like it's kind of hard for me to get back into certain situations right now as far as the you know, I enjoyed it growing up. Totally enjoyed it. Doing it, battling the whole everything is enjoyable. Like I said, I felt battle most. Anybody know me. I don't have to. They know what's up. From one end of Brooklyn to the next. You know what I'm saying? If they know me, they know me. Don't then it is what it is.
So do you still participate in it? Like, do you still go to shit now? Let's say, like, regardless if it's like a flex and battle buckup events, whoever
Right.
if it's Louds, if it's the what's Battle Fest, or do you like watch from a distance, or do you pop up and immerse yourself in the community still? Like, how you with it now?
Well. Lately, I mean, I don't live out in the city no more, so I live out of town. So that's the only kind of thing for me. But when I do hear about events or whatever the case might be now, I'm gonna start popping up. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of little, certain situations I try to avoid.
Yeah.
But I do go out, here and there.
I'm still like, first of all, did you teach? Let's say back then or any time in your dancing career, right? Did you teach formally or did you teach like signs and symbols? Somebody got to walk up to you and have a certain empathy, and then you were like, okay, I can help bless you out. Or were you more like to yourself with
Well, what do you mean as far as teaching or?
as far as teaching?
Mm.
Yeah, as far as teaching, let's say I'm talking about throughout your whole dance career. Like, how were you with teaching? Was it something that you did? Was it something that you kept on a personal level as you got to know the person and vibe with them? You'll teach them something.
That's pretty much if anybody learned from me or whatever the case might be, that's pretty much where it came from.
Mhm.
We had personal, we had a personal, I would say, relationship, and us having a personal relationship and we dealing with each other on a regular basis, we learned from each other, or you learned the style that I was giving you, or whatever the case might be. However, you took it out, you was around me, is my point. You know what I'm saying? You was dealing with me. If you know me, you was around me all the way.
Right, right.
You got anything from me, I was around you, you was around me. That's pretty much it.
Did you have any like Like, do you have any memorable like battles, collaboration, or anything? Give me one, like one.
Yeah, I can do it all.
Yeah. Like, give me the best battle moment, a hardest battle. Let's give us something.
Well, one of my best all time battles is, I could say that, I was battling the actual buckup himself on my block.
We gotta hear this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my battles. But yeah, he came to my block, Albany Avenue, whatever the case might be, Albany Avenue, Fulton, came to my block, and you know, DJ Clue was battling. I mean, DJ Clue was on the 1 and 2s. We had DJ Clue out on the DJing that day. There's a lot of people, and he did 1 or 2 moves, and he did his famous move. I'm gonna say
Right.
because his famous move is his blow up.
Yeah.
He went from there, and then I pulled the move out. I think I did the scorpion, and then I think he pulled another move out. His catwalk, that was one of the moves, and then I think I did another move, and my whole block went crazy from there.
That's wow.
It just shit just went.
Wait,
And he definitely showed respect. You know what I'm saying?
you can see him and you're like, oh man, it's okay. It's gonna go up. Right.
I am who I am. I know where I came from and what I know. It is what it is. This is what it's gonna be right now.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of my hits.
oh,
Then I had another battle.
uh,
Another one of my battles I enjoyed. It's one of my mans. I fuck with him pretty much. Darrell, I don't know if you know
no.
Polo. Yeah, if you know him, Polo, he won another one. You know what I mean? He was a good dancer too. You know what I'm saying? One of my, but we had a, huh?
What did you say? His name was what?
Polo, yeah, Polo, yeah. He was another one from my neighborhood that I danced with. You know what I'm saying? That that know what's up. Man, he know what's up though. Yeah, he know what's up. That's my man though. You know what I mean?
What?
Oh, oh yeah, my man Reg and Nugget. Yeah, I battled them and at a party. They had a party with one of my ex girlfriends. It was her party. I came and they was in there.
Wait, like one on two, or did you go like one, like back to back?
I went. Yeah, I went at every last one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was another memorable battle.
Right.
Definitely, yeah, that was another memorable battle. I had a few battles. I had a few battles. Like I said, I had a few big battles. That was all right.
Yeah.
If they know, they know. If they don't,
I mean, yeah, bro. I wish some of these. I wish I could just pull up the footage and just see. I wish I could be a fly on the wall at that. You see, man, that's cool. How about you and Akudo? I know if y'all laugh together, I know y'all done have some fire ones where it just went there, like the energy was high. It was just like a
no, that's why it's like that's why I said I gotta. He knows the position that puts me in. That's gonna make me get back to the level of where I need to be.
right,
So with that being said, I have to be in a lab. You know what I'm saying? I have to get in the lab. I have to get focused. I have to get on that type of time. I think that's like might be the only way that I'm thinking I'm gonna get right in that mode right now. I think that's the case because I'm just gotta jump in the lab.
right.
And I know once I get in it, it's over with.
What do you see though? How do you use dance in your life, bro? This is on another note. It's like what made you just like fall in love with this style? And is it for example, like what causes you to let it? Let it
This was like a hobby. It was something I like. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I enjoyed this, and everything about it was enjoyable to me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't did it most. I did it every day,
Yeah.
and it was like I said, I was flexible. So being flexible, I learned how to do a little bit more
Mhm.
because I was flexible. Could move my body certain ways and bend in certain ways and using that to my advantage. And that's what made me who I was.
Right, right. So what do you think? Let's say you get back in and you get back in it. Are you gonna pour into somebody? You think you're gonna find a that the younger version of you outside, try to pour into them and try to keep the style going, like you're saying, mental training and prepare them to even be a more advanced version of yourself and your.
That's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, if I come back out, I'm hoping to come out. Like I said, I'm gonna give you guys a little preview. I come in, I'm gonna put something together in about a week or so, and I'm gonna just put it out there and see what's going on. You could judge it however you want to take it,
Yeah,
and
I,
it'll go from there. But I'm gonna get in the studio. I'm gonna get in my little lab and just bite down for a minute and learn a couple. Get my body back to right.
yeah,
That's all basic. It's just my body. I gotta learn my body again.
right.
Once I learn my body and
That's a
I was ease myself, so I try to get back, once I learn my body again and how it's moving and what I can and I can't do.
huge. When I teach people how to turf, it's like the first thing I like you gotta know so you can know what you're comfortable with and uncomfortable with. Then you gotta start moving from the uncomfortable positions. Once you know your body, then you can control the environment around you. Then you can control the
There you
movement
go.
because you know the
There you go.
you didn't do it. That's how you test your limits of John.
There you go.
I'm doing this. Doing it till you make it look like.
That's right. You already know it. I ain't gonna be doing all floor shit if I can't get down there. If I can't do floor shit, I can't do floor shit. I can't learn from a floor aspect if I'm trying to, Man, that's what I said. Once I learn my body, so then I know my limits of what I could do, and then I'm gonna go from there. Cause this is me. This whole dancing shit is me. So I know.
Right.
But once I jump into it, I could nothing. I don't need I don't need too much of nothing else. I just need to learn what I got, what I'm capable of, and then I could go from there.
No, I'm
That's it.
telling you right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? A part of it and speak with you because I be watching
Yeah.
how that brother move and I'm like, this is fire.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely, definitely. Or definitely appreciate it. You already know, man. Big ups to all the dancers. Like I said, shout out to all the dancers. You already know, man.
Yo,
I just did it for the culture. That's all. I'm trying to make sure the culture is satisfied and stamped. And we stamping the culture and we making sure the culture know what's up.
yeah,
That's it.
that first video, bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to get on your gram, bro. Your gram.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
On a whole, right? Do
Mm-hmm.
you see like the format y'all got, right? You see it as it has the capability to like compete with modern like hip hop. You think your style with the band version of your style be like in video where doing the choreography and shows and all of because it's almost like a modern hip hop.
Right. Yeah. It definitely could be in videos. It definitely could be in hip hop style. Sorry about that pause. It definitely could be in a once you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing.
Right.
Once you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. You just gotta catch the rhythm for the beat. And once you secure that, you could go from there. So I'm pretty sure, but me, I know for a fact that once I secure a rhythm, a beat, and know that this is where my point is, I got it down.
Right.
Got it down pat.
Could you see yourself in the studio like 50, 20 people behind you preparing some shit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yep. I could do that. Definitely.
So when
Definitely.
are you question, okay? So what do you think is more important? Like the art of moving your body or talent?
What's the second one you said? Freestyling or what?
Freestyling, like knowing how to move or have
Mhm.
good flows.
Or having good. Okay, well, freestyling is something. For me, freestyling is more like learning the rhythm, learning what you're listening to, just catching it. Once you catch it, because you're just freestyling. Once you get the music part of it and you lock in, then you could put your own style on it. You could put whatever you want to put on it.
Right.
From my point of me learning and me learning the rhythm, I have to learn the rhythm, learn the beat, and then I could go off of that.
Right.
That's how I gain my advantage of how I move on the rhythm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta catch the rhythm first. Once I catch the rhythm, it's over with.
Right.
That's it.
So would you say you got that more preset moves or got moves and you since you know the flow moves in when it
Yeah, that's how I do it. Well, I got set moves that I learned that I think about on the regular that I've had when I was younger that I could just, add on, but as far as like I said, this new me learning something right now,
Mhm.
it'd be all new shit. It'd be me having to learn everything and showing how I move now off of what my body able to show. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
So what's a message right now that you would want to say all the new generation, all your experience and the things you went through, what is the message that you would tell upcoming dancers trying to run up or out of dance sector?
What's the message? That's what I'm saying. It'll be like, basically, if this is something that you want to do, just take your time. This is something that you choose that you want to do, and you want to get into. Make sure you're taking your time as far as learning what you want to do and how you want to do it. And not only that, once you lock in on the style of dancing that you want, focus on that and go with it.
Right.
That's it. Just be good at it. No, just go get it. That's it. Go get it. Once you lock in on the focus, once you lock in on the style that you want to dance, just lock in on it and go get it.
Virus,
Go get it.
you you got to come back. I told Aku that I have a part two with him, but I love it if you got to come back, bro, together and doing
Definitely.
one too, bro. Doing with me, I have Nettie, my outfit, because there's so much questions. Like, bro, I literally have a thing for like 50 questions, and I barely even answer them. Like act like talking to you, but that's how it feels good. That's the best thing.
Right.
You're an important. Much love to you. I appreciate you because you're a very
True.
important factor that I could speak highly of, and you get the pleasure to shed more light on y'all style. You know what I'm saying? All different
Right.
cultures, and y'all got you know
Right.
stories. Is it of a lot of things we go through with cigarettes, a lot of things I've go through drinking. A lot of our street styles. People from urban areas go through certain type of situations, and I like light, and it gives a lot of inspiration.
Right.
Us
Right.
together from everywhere, bro. So I really respect you, coming on here. Hey, I'm not
Definitely.
hurt. Oh, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? See how
Hey, y'all ain't gonna kick you out. I'm gonna get. Hey, y'all, bro, y'all fight. Bro. I really appreciate it. As you take the time to come in, hour, bro. I'll be up here forever. So I'm picking your brain. You have to hit that mark. Once again, body for all the support about that Turfn one-on-one. Once again, hit that subscribe on YouTube, Instagram. Icky, I know you. I want to give your social media if you want to. Give your social media
yeah.
handle to the people that follow you because you to blow up. I'm telling y'all. As soon as you,
Okay, well, you already know Nike 6. That's my social media. You can hit me up, Nike 6. Um, Other than that, my Facebook, my name, first and last. I don't really do the social media shit like that. I'm really not, you know what I mean? But if you want to hit my Instagram, Nike 6, that's cool.
you got it ready. You got it ready for it, bro. Like I already threw you out there.
As I said, now I'm actively trying to get myself back out there,
Mhm.
moving up certain situations. That's it, That's all. Once I get back out there, everything's good.
Yeah, much love, bro. Thank you. We gonna have to when you're doing what you are too, bro. Just get some more of y'all stories, man. Sit back. Glad y'all blessed us with the platform. All right, bro.
Thank you much.
Much love, brother.